All right, guys. So within the last couple weeks or so, Congress had a conference, a hearing on UFOs, right? And it is the first time that they did that in like what 40 or 50 years or something like that. Okay, since like the 70s or something. Okay, and the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I kind of want the UFOs, the aliens, to come down and beam me up, right? Beam me up, okay? Take me from this world because I'm not necessarily sure how much more of the insanity I can take, okay? I was depending on Elon Musk to actually take us to Mars to start a new not woke civilization. However, it seems like the left is coming after Elon Musk in full force. So therefore, my backup plan is for the UFOs that allegedly are, running around in our atmosphere. I want them to take me instead, right? So that being said, if you're out here listening, right, beam me up, right? And one of the reasons why is because of stories like this, okay, which involves a father, and I'm using that word very loosely because I have a gut feeling that this individual is not a biological man. However, I don't know that, okay, from just looking at this person. However, my spider senses are telling me something is off. However, I'm gonna say father anyways. I'm gonna call him a he because I don't really know for sure. But this father went to TikTok to try to raise money for his son's transition, right? He wants his son to take puberty blockers. And I want you guys to watch this video because again, it's videos like this that really do make me want to go to a new planet and start another civilization. Take a look.
So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Lyric. Today, making a video that isn't like the other content that I typically make. Basically, I'm raising money to help fund my son's transition-related costs. I'm sharing this with his permission. Basically, we already have a diagnosis of gender dysphoria for him. We have gotten his blood work done, and we need to start him on puberty blockers as soon as possible. Now, I transitioned later, so I wasn't familiar with how puberty blockers worked. Basically, my insurance doesn't cover this, which is wonderful, right? The generic version of Lupron, that we have a 22.5 milligram dose that is going to cost out of pocket $468 per shot, and each shot lasts 3 months. So we need 4 of these a year. It's close to $2,000. I have already exhausted most of my funds. I need help. I want to raise money to help cover his transition-related costs, as it's very difficult to come out with that sort of money on short notice. I know that I'm asking a lot, but I would do anything to make sure that he is able to continue his transition seamlessly.
Yeah, so that is absolutely heartbreaking, okay? And back in the day, they used to call that child abuse. Nowadays, what they call that is woke parenting, okay? And if you speak out against it and you say, you know what, I think this is wrong. I think this kid probably is too young to understand the life-changing decisions that he's about to make, right? The life-changing drugs that he's about to take that could permanently alter his body. If you bring that up, then you might be called a bigot, right? You might be called a transphobe, okay? They're going to say you're against trans kids. And it's like, well, no, that's just simply not the case. We're actually trying to protect these kids from making decisions that they don't fully understand and grasp, right? Which is basically being pushed on them by a parent. And that is the saddest part about this, because this is how the whole transitioning thing works, guys. It starts off with social transitioning, okay? It's like a Trojan horse where they say, oh, you know what? It's okay to, allow kids to, identify as the opposite sex or whatever and to use their preferred pronouns because that's harmless. That's harmless, okay? There's no permanent changes. There's nothing like that. They're just social transitioning. But what happens is that social transitioning leads to the next step. The next step is puberty blockers, right? Which is what this father is trying to push on his son. Okay. Now, when it comes to puberty blockers, the left claims that these things are 100% safe, right? It is fine to do it because all of the effects are reversible, right? And it's totally harmless. However, there's no scientific evidence to support that hormone blockers are actually harmless. Actually, there's scientific evidence to the contrary, right? For example, in May 2021, Karolinska University Hospital actually opted to stop administering hormone blockers to children because of their controversial nature, potential side effects, and the lack of scientific support to support the treatment's efficacy. Okay, and before that, 13 out of 440 children who received puberty blockers at the hospital for gender dysphoria suffered severe injuries as a result. And if you guys don't know what puberty blockers do, basically they prevent the development of, secondary sex characteristics. They arrest bone growth, decrease bone accretion. They prevent the full development and maturation of the brain and inhibit fertility. Okay, so those are all things that, I'm not necessarily sure if, kids should be going through, right? And then the next step after that is hormone treatments, where they actually, give the feminizing or masculinization hormones, testosterone and estrogen. Okay, in which that, makes kids develop, characteristics that are aligned with the sex that they want to be, right? And then after that, they go full on at 18, they do the surgery, right? That is basically how it works, right? It's basically 4 steps, okay? And to me, in my opinion, I don't understand what is wrong with waiting until the kid is 18 years old, because this person pointed out that they didn't transition until they were much older, right? And it seems to me that this person has really, really, really transitioned, okay? They're on full hormones and all that other stuff, okay? Not sure what type of surgeries they had or whatever, but again, this person seems to be into this. So with that being said, why in the world would you push this on your kid, right? If you waited till you was older, you seem to be happy, right? Hopefully. Okay, hopefully you're happy. If you're not happy, again, that's a question of why are you pushing it on your kid. But if you're 100% happy and you waited, why don't you just make your kid wait, right? Make them wait until they turn 18 years old and then they can do what they want to do. What is the downside of having children who are experiencing gender dysphoria, if that's what they're actually experiencing? I think there's questions about whether or not that's actually something they're experiencing, or if it's something else like anxiety, depression. Is it something that they think they have because of peer pressure? I think I have questions about that. But if that's something they're actually going through, why not make them wait until they are 18? I really don't understand. I have not heard a good argument as to why kids just can't wait. I really don't understand. Okay? I really don't. But for whatever reason, they say, if you want to make them wait, that means you're anti-trans kids, right? That's what they say. But in my opinion, I think the pros of waiting far outweigh the cons. And again, I just don't understand why is it even legal for this to happen. Now, the libertarian in me does not advocate for, the government to come in and to try to, take somebody's kid or something like that. But we do have laws on the books, and we do have child protective services there for situations where parents are putting their kids in harm's way, right? Like, for example, if a parent was allowing their kid to smoke, or giving them alcohol or drugs and stuff like that, child protective services may come in and interfere and say, hey, you know what? You're not a responsible parent, okay? I don't understand how this is that much different from a parent pushing their child to do something that is potentially harmful, like, again, smoke weed or drink alcohol, right? I don't see how it's all that much different, okay? And the last part of what I want to say here is the part about cost, right? You notice how that person said this is so expensive. It's going to be like $2,000 a year. That's another component of this, guys, that I think is the reason why this is being pushed. There's a huge market for this, or potential market, okay? As the younger generation becomes more, LGBTQ friendly or whatever, right? Where they start, going along with this identifying stuff, social transitioning, you have a lot more kids that are going to sign up for puberty blockers, okay? And there's a whole lot of money to be made off of that. Right? Big Pharma can make a whole lot of money off that. Therapists can make a whole lot of money off that. Doctors can make a whole lot of money off of that. And I think that that's part of the reason why you're seeing a lot of this stuff is because there's money in it. It's a new market, right? It's a new market. And it really is a shame that, some people are so greedy that they will make money off of pushing kids to go on these treatments that are potentially life altering, right? That are potentially permanent, okay? And then pretend like, hey, there's no downsides, right? It's just completely reversible, right? That's what they say. Again, it's dishonest stuff, man, and it is greed. That's a part of it as well too. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, okay, well, hey, it's a sticky situation because that's not my kid, right? I really don't have anything to do with that kid and what that parent is pushing on them. But at the same time, part of me is like, well, that kid is in a helpless situation, right? And I wish that he had somebody there to tell him, listen, wait, just wait till you're 18. You don't need to do this right now. And that's why I think the conservative me says that the government should step in and ban this type of stuff, these type of treatments from being given to kids. That way we can just eliminate this from happening, because to me, it's not right. Okay, we already have laws on the books that make it illegal for kids to participate in certain other drugs and activities, right? What's any different from this? The only difference is that with this, if you're against it, they'll call you a bigot, right? The woke mob will get mad, right? That's the only difference. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.